Welcome to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast.
My name is Jen Clark.
And I'm Elka Clark. We are a mother-daughter team who started our Zazzle e-commerce businesses over 10 years ago and have sold $15 million and counting of products on Zazzle with our designs on them.
We had so many people asking us how we did this, so we created our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy, which teaches our 5 strategies for success on Zazzle.
When we aren't helping creative entrepreneurs just like you create profitable e-commerce businesses, we love cooking food from places all over the world that we've traveled to, jet setting to our next dream destination, spending quality time with our close friends and family, or having fun creating our next bestsellers in our Zazzle businesses.
In this podcast, we share actionable steps you, the creative, can take to make money in your e-commerce business on Zazzle. Each episode will take you one step closer to achieving freedom with your time, location, and finances.
We believe that you can have anything you dream of, as long as you work smarter, not harder. And we're here to give you the tools you need to make your dreams happen. Let's get started. Hey there, we're so excited for you to be here for day 2 of our 5-day challenge. If you are brand new, welcome. We're going to give you a little intro as to who we are when we get into the slides. But first of all, if you're new and you're just like not familiar with our community, we want to just welcome you. And if you are new and you've never bought anything of our training, what we did was send out an email to you. And maybe if you just joined recently, you wouldn't have gotten it because we sent it out. When did we send it out? Yesterday, yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Where you can get access to a course, which usually costs $40. And we've given it to you as a free bonus for anyone who is not part of any of our programs, so that you can get really ramped up fast in the Zazzle Marketplace, so that you know what to do in terms of setting up your account and to set up your first, your store, and then making your first product. So that is a bonus for us to you as a gift. If you haven't yet gotten that, we will be sending out another email with that link and the coupon code so that you can get access to that, because I think it'd be very important for you to get started on Zazzle right away. And that way you can understand this training more, because we're doing scaling here, not just how do you start. And so we've given that to you as a gift. Let us know if you have any trouble with that, but I don't just want to have like 10,000 comments here right now. We will send out another email, but then if you have not received it, look in your junk mail first. And then secondly, you can contact a support at elkaclark.com, and we can write that in the chat so that you can ask for that link and get that access to that free start. It's called the e-commerce initiator. And we're gifting you that because you've decided to sign up, which is really cool, right? We want you to succeed. That's our mission. When we started this company 3 years ago, we wanted to, we knew that we were doing well on Zazzle, and we wanted to give back, first of all, but also we wanted to make others feel as empowered as we are feeling empowered, because we built our own business and we are getting the results of that work that we did. We worked smart, not hard. Initially, we worked very, very hard, and we worked badly because we didn't know exactly what we were doing. But now, over the course of the time that we've been together here on Zazzle, working our business on Zazzle, we have figured it out, and we've developed these 5 strategies, which you're going to hear about, and also the course, the Profit by Design Academy. And we're actually holding a boot camp coming up on the 19th of April. So you can just jump right in if you want. If you just go like, wow, these people know what they're talking about, and I just want to get started on Zazzle, then this is the place. You're in the right place. We have a really great promotional deal for you. And so you can just jump in and be right in on this movement that's happening. People who have been with us, even though it's a long-term passive income business, because I don't want anyone who is on here now, you can just leave if you think you're going to make $1,000 or even $10,000 or even $100,000 in a month. That's just not happening on the Zazzle Marketplace. This is a slow, steady as you go, set the foundations for a very long-term business. We've been on this platform now for 14 years, and we've made $1.5 million combined. You're going to see that in the slides again. But if if you're listening to other people that are talking about like being on Amazon merch or drop shipping and they're making like $10,000 or $100,000 a month, that's not what we're all about. So just to let you know, and we won't mind if you leave, because you're going to go like, why I can't do that here. But if you're ready to build a long-term passive online business that's going to give you money even after you stop spending ads, because you can't even spend money to do this business. You have to just set it up properly. And that's what we're here to do in this 5-day challenge. And then it works on passive means for you to start selling, even though you're going to keep working on it, but it's not that you have to work all the time to generate $1 for an hour or whatever. So we're really excited to have you on. So thank you so much for joining us. And we are getting to be a movement. We are so popular because we are authentic Zazzle designers who are teaching what we do on our Zazzle stores to others. And we do that through free and paid content. And that's really important for you to understand that free gets you so far, paid gets you further. And not just because you get more information, because you're invested. And it's only once you start to put some money down on the table, that's when you start to be committed to actually doing this. We're always committed. We've been committed to all the students that have gotten through our programs, but some don't make money, whereas others do. And it's really interesting. The ones who make the money are committed, and it starts with an investment, a monetary investment actually in yourself. So we want to just keep that in mind. And we will be giving you like a huge offer discount today because you're here in this early bird of our launch cycle when we're starting the enrollment next week when we start our training. So I'm just so glad to see so many familiar faces. That's the other thing that we are very known for, is we are creating a very huge movement and community where we know each other. We're supportive of each other. We are not out to get each other. We are here to help each other out. And I love that about this community. And it's a legacy that we are so lucky to be able to be building right now, to say that, listen, all of us, there's enough abundance for everyone. And everyone has a unique gift that they can bring to the Zazzle Marketplace. And there's people out there looking for that gift. And you just have to be really feel worthy of your own abilities so that you can actually profit from that. And we are here to show you that business side. So welcome to day 2 of the Scale Your Zazzle Business Challenge. It's all about titles and tags, and we're going to test some of you today to see how you're doing with your titles and tags. That's why it's called Titles and Tags Test. And as you already heard, we are Jen and Elka. We are your hosts, and that's a nice little picture of us. We love Zazzle. And if you don't know what Zazzle is, it's a print-on-demand company that you can shop on as like an e-commerce site. However, the cool thing is that it's based on independent designers posting their products up on the Zazzle Marketplace. And it's not like take my chair and put it up on the Zazzle Marketplace. That's not what it is. It's not like something where you're physically selling something you have. It's Zazzle provides the physical products. They source everything. They get everything ready for you. You add the design to the blank product in a graphic, artwork, photography, surface pattern, whatever it is. And then if it sells, Zazzle pays you a royalty and they do all the rest of the work. And that's why they get paid the extra piece, not just the whole thing. But they pay us a royalty. And so what a great business model that is. And so because Zazzle takes care of all that customer billing and servicing and printing and whatever else, when we've set our store up properly, and even with our students right now, we teach in our Profit by Design Academy that you should work 20 hours a month using our strategies, our systems, the way we tell you what to do and so on. And our top students that actually have made 6 figures do that. They don't have any more than 20 hours a month, and they followed very strictly what we told them in the Profit by Design Academy. And because of that, they are seeing the results. Now, when you get to be at a point where you like what you're doing with your earnings, like you're getting the amount that you want per month or per year, then you can start to taper back a little bit in that time frames. Like Jen and I right now, we work maybe 4 hours a month on our business just to manage it. But that Zazzle business is now running as a passive income business that we have been in long-term 14 years. Mm-hmm. And we've made $1.5 million and counting together from that platform, which is really, really cool. So it's not buckets of money, but it's a lot of money for a lot of people. And it suits us really well because we really love being creative, and we love being able to, affect other people's lives through our products. And that's what we do. We are actually, if you consider it as Zazzle, you're a service, right? You're giving joy and enjoyment to the people that you're serving as customers. And that's hard to remember when you're, just selling something online. But it's really, really important that you remember that, because that's the key to the overall thinking behind this business, and it pays you for doing that service. Okay, so what do we do now that we have the money? Because the money is not the important thing. It's what you do with your money, right? You pay off things, you acquire other things, but after a while that actually gets a little bit like you get to a certain point where you're like, I'm really happy with the amount of money that I'm making. This is really awesome, because now what happens is you're not just worried about paying your rent, you're interested in doing stuff with your time that you never thought you could. And so for us, we love taking care of our family. That's why I first started on Zazzle. I wanted to take care of her and her brothers, who were a lot younger at that point in time. But I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I wanted to have an executive income. I wanted like a CEO income. And I wanted to be home with my kids and not have to be working like 20, 30 hours of the day. And that's where I was professionally. And I was just carting my kids off to babysitters, and that was not working for me. So I came to find Zazzle, and I made it work for me. So, okay. And so Jen saw that I was doing really well, and she wanted to travel and not, be tied down to a job. But she needed money to travel. She didn't just want a backpack and she wanted some money. And so therefore she used Zazzle as a way to have income for her wherever she was in the world. And she didn't have to worry about work visas and, figuring out how she was going to be able to afford something if she wanted to do it when she was in a certain location. And that's such a huge benefit and freedom that we forget we have, because we're so in our 9-to-5 or stuck with bills and responsibilities that we don't even think we can have those choices. And now the money allows you to have those choices. And the really cool part is you can still be creative. And if you're like, you can tell me in the chat if you're not creative, because you can actually still make money being on Zazzle if you're not creative. Some of our top students are not creative. They just learned how to be creative and to deliver on the service on the Zazzle platform. But most of us here are creatives, and we're always being told you can't make money being creative. And that's not true, right? The truth is, all the truth you're going to hear over the next couple of days in the challenge. We're going to give you more and more information about that. And it's going to be really important for you to hear that over and over again, because you've heard so many times where it's been told to you, no, you can't, because you're doing something creative, get a real job. And then finally, I just said, that's enough. I'm doing everything that everyone else tells me, but they don't know that it's possible. And I need to find a way that it makes it possible for me, because I really want that. And that's one of the reasons we started doing the training 3 years ago. And since then, we've helped our Zazzle students, our top students, make over $6 million in sales on Zazzle. So we're a movement that's just exploding. And if you are interested in this and you want to get the help you need and not to worry about taking too much time to figure it out on your own, then use our 5 strategies. Come work with us in our Profit by Design Academy bootcamp, and let's see how far we can go together. All right. And we're actually starting to get noticed too. So I put that in there, the Yahoo Finance. We've been named top e-commerce coaches. And so, yeah, I think we can move on to knowing that we're good at what we do, and we're really helpful to people who take our advice and implement it in their business. And so we're going to give you $1,000 off, because we're in the early bird pricing stage of our Profit by Design Academy bootcamp. And if anytime during this week you want to take advantage of that $1,000 off, it will end at midnight on Friday night. So that's it. Don't take so long. And action takers are successors, or like people who have success. So the sooner, whether you do it now or tomorrow or Friday, that's just you taking too much time to figure out if you want to make this business work for you. And so, but we'll give you the promo code if you stay to the end, so that you can take advantage of that special. All right. So I've already kind of told you if you're in the right place or not, and kicked you out if you're not. But here's the thing. If you're interested in making Zazzle work for you, whether you're new to Zazzle, you just want to get the proper ways to get started so you don't have to make up for mistakes, or you want to make more money than you're already making because you're on Zazzle, but you're not making nearly what you think you should be making, especially after hearing all of our student success stories, or you're actually on Zazzle and you want to make more. Like we actually have a platinum designer who started, and platinum means, I don't even know what the number is anymore. Is that $250,000 in lifetime earnings? And she took the Profit by Design Academy and she goes, I can't believe how much I was missing in terms of leaving money on the table because of the training that I just got through the Profit by Design Academy. So remember that you never know everything and you can always do better.
That's actually the wrong time.
I forgot to change that slide. Come back at 2 tomorrow. Okay. All right. And so we're going to cover this today. And so why do people not sell? They don't sell because they can't get found. That's the first one, right? The second thing is design and so on. But first, we've got to get your products found in this gazillions and billions of products that are out there. And so today we're going to talk about search engine optimization and why you need it. And you'll find out more about that in a minute. And then how to do effective titles and tags, and you'll understand more about what that means. And then we're going to do a live critique, okay? So all within the next hour.
So what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization. And I know that sounds like big words to some people. And some of you might not have ever heard of search engine optimization, but search engine optimization is how your products get found in Google and on Zazzle. And the reason why we actually say in Google and on Zazzle is because every time you're creating a Zazzle product, you're actually creating a web page. So you're actually creating a page in the internet space, and that needs to be found somehow. And the way that all of this, like the internet algorithm works, is that you create keywords or tag words that you associate with that page so that when someone, many of us have obviously done this, when you go onto Google and you need to look something up, the reason why you're able to get those results is because those pages have actually tagged themselves or added those keywords to the back end of that. And in Zazzle, the way that you do this is by adding it to your title and your tags. And with the algorithm that Zazzle has created, it not only helps your products be found in the Zazzle Marketplace, but also on Google. And it's really interesting. Once you get to be extremely popular on Zazzle, or even if you have a very specific niche, you can literally go into Google and you'll see your products pop up. This has happened multiple times for me and for Elka. And so not only are we catering to the Zazzle Marketplace people who come to search on Zazzle, but you're catering to literally anybody on Google who searches for those types of things. So your titles and tags are not they're extremely important. And I think a lot of Zazzle designers don't understand the scope of how powerful they are. And then also the fact that you have to properly do them, because if you just kind of do a title or a tag, sort of, I say nilly-willy, or just okay, whatever, let's see if this happens.
You just have to finish it to get the proper product
to
published.
Post a product for sale, then you're actually losing money. You're literally losing money on the table, because if you don't do it properly, someone is never going to find your product. Because even if you have the most amazing design, the most beautiful product, the most probably popular sought out thing, if you don't title it and tag it properly, then it will most likely never get found, which is very unfortunate. And we've had many students who have had gold mines of products where they come into our courses or even our private coaching and they say, I'm not making money. And the first thing that we do is we check their titles and tags. And as soon as they make some changes, they start to see results, which is really crazy. So
it's not crazy. It's the way it goes, right? I think it's crazy, define crazy, because it's we think it's so abnormal, but really
no, I think that they think it's crazy because they just see results right away, because they've been working really hard and trying to figure things out on their own. And then as soon as we make a little tweak, because we've had that experience and that information, that they know now that things happen right away. So.
Well, I love that. And that's why I've sort of interrupted Jen. Well, I didn't sort of, I interrupted Jen. But this is the weird thing about it, is we're so fixated on why are my products not selling? And you're worried about the design, you're worried about the niche and everything else. But the only thing is there's no people looking at your stuff because you haven't labeled it properly. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole point. And then they think that we're miracle workers, but we are, because we're giving them the right way to do the titles and tags. But for you, it's a big relief, and it seemed almost crazy because you've tried everything else. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give you some overview in terms of guidelines, and then we're going to get into some details. So the way Zazzle works now, initially, if you've been a long-time Zazzle designer, you would have known that you had to add your product a name to the end. Now Zazzle has an algorithm for that. So please don't put anything in your title that even remotely refers to the product name, like, invitation or invite or something like that, because then the bot won't add it to the end, and you won't get the same SEO as before. So like, we've done this before where we go invite and we think it's maybe a different version of invitation, just to give that as an example. And it doesn't add all the rest of it. And Zazzle's programmed everything now very nicely so that it does add the right word at the end of whatever you put in that title box, so that you can really get the best SEO from that product type. So you're even just responsible only for the way that you describe your product, not just how like the language you use to say what the product is, like, hat or mug or whatever. In some cases, it's really obvious, mug, but sometimes it could be that it needs to be said like travel mug rather than, something else. And so Zazzle's worked that out, and it's automatically giving you that as part of the equation when you're filling everything out. So you don't need to add that, and you're actually doing a disservice because it doesn't add it if you use any of those words in the spaces you have left to add the description to put anything about the actual product type. So that's the first thing, and it's the really biggest one, because it's stopped a lot of people from selling just because they decided to put their own version in of what the name should be. Okay, so then the next thing is be specific. It's like, okay, what does that mean? We'll get into more specifics in a minute, but you have to be specific in terms of deciding how to label your product so that people understand what they're getting, because they're also searching for very specific things, right? So, and then rather make a certain number of products, like X products, for X uses. So you can have something that could be for Christmas, for birthday, for Mother's Day, and you can like literally justify it for about 5 different things, but you should make it 5 different times rather than making one product and then putting Christmas, birthday, anniversary, baby shower all in the same tag and title, because that's called spamming. And then therefore your product won't be found. There's like bots that kind of find those and not let them be as visible in the marketplace, because that brings down Zazzle's SEO and ranking, and therefore they're not going to sell more. So they're actually going to not be as happy if you make one product and tell us how many uses it has. Rather make 5, like whatever number of products, for one for each use, even if it's the same design. Okay, so that's really important, and that goes into the spamming. And spamming just means even saying things like, if you can justify, like that's number 3, if you can justify it being used for Mother's Day, Christmas, birthday, anniversary, and it really truly does look like it could be used for all of those, but then that's number 3, you do with each one a product rather than one product and all those tags in one product titles and tags. But then number 4 is different. It's basically saying, I'm making like let's say a monogram product, and then you put in floral, Christmas, wood, glitter, and there's no glitter, but it's just all the words that are the popular trending words on Zazzle, and you're just trying to put the words in there so that your product comes up somewhere in the search. That's called spamming. So if it's not specific to the product and it doesn't make it a match, that's called spamming. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go through these a little bit more in detail. So this one, obviously, Zazzle does this for you. Then in this one, being specific means that you're going to list the colors, the traits, the use. That's what means to be specific. Then for the product design, I think I got over that quite quickly. I told you that a lot in terms of explaining it over and over again. But the purpose of that is because you're going to have different the product will be marketed differently. And you can then position your Zazzle design in multiple different niches much more effectively than if it's a generalized product and that it's targeted to so many different areas. And that maybe that doesn't make sense to you right now because you're new, but it's very, very important when it comes. And so if that's not a justification, like I want you to have a reason not to make just one product and put all those uses in. And this is the reason, but maybe you don't fully understand it yet, but this could save you or earn you thousands and thousands of dollars if you do this right, rather than just trying to finally grab attention and get one sale. And then the no spamming, what I mean by that is, as I mentioned before, you can't just put baby shower, Christmas, politics, business, Valentine's Day, all those other things just for one product as a tag, a set of tags. That's just not going to work. Zazzle will, the bots will flag that and just go like, no, that's spamming. And they might even take your product down. Okay, so is the most important, because this is the one that people make the most mistakes on, is the spamming part, because we're coming at this from a place of lack where we think we just need to get in. We just need to sell something. So we're not thinking that we're able to sell. So we're just like hedging our bets. And we don't want you to hedge your bets. We want you to be confident and just deliver on what it is that you have to deliver and reach that customer that you want to reach. All right. So here's the thing that Zazzle gives us as help with our keywords for the title, because let's start there. And then what you would do is take most of those title keywords and add them to your tags. And the tags would have some additional things in them as well. But the title is very, very important. And it's not just even for Google and for the marketplace research on Zazzle, but also when you pin to Pinterest, they use the title as the keyword search. So you've got to get the title nailed in. And that's going to really help you get your product searched and found by customers that want to buy your things. All right, so there's 2 suggestions that they give you, and we're going to try and walk through these because even to me, they're like so confusing. So I'm just always, is it a trait? Is it a color? Is it a style? But we're going to hopefully help you with some of this as we do some of the Q&A and use some examples as a critique. So it's trait first, then color, then style, then content, then design type. So for example, you can say the trait is vintage, but see, vintage to me means style too. So, but if you follow this along, the vintage is the trait, like that's the niche almost. Then the color is the navy and pink. The style is watercolor, because I could have a vintage that's not watercolor. And so that's how I end up like explaining it to myself. And I hope that helps you as well by that example. And then the design type is actually a floral, right? Because people are, when they're looking for something, they're going to go like minimal, floral, abstract, whatever. So that's the design type. Then what's the content made out of? That's the watercolor. And the style also. And then the pink, navy pink, obviously that's the easiest part to figure out. And then the trait. So sometimes they're done in this order, and this is what Zazzle suggests, but sometimes based on when the words you're using, if a niche is developed within the marketplace where some things are needed first, like for example, you might have already noticed with the rose gold, that means that rose gold is so like built up as a niche in itself on the Zazzle Marketplace that it would actually be better to break this rule that they suggest and use rose gold first rather than second. And that's been the way it's happened. So it brings in a different search result for you and allows your products to be found within rose gold. So if you now put rose gold at the end, for example, or in the middle where it's like a second where it says here, then you might not be as effective as putting it at the beginning. Or the word like chic or girly might actually be something that is more popular than even rose gold. So that goes at the front, and that's a trait. So this is supposed to help you, but it also is supposed to give you a very clear understanding that this is not an easy thing. You can't be in this challenge in this hour and go, I've got titles and tags locked in. We do training for months with people, and they're finally just starting to get some of the things locked in with them. So be careful that you don't walk away with this being the absolute end all and be all, right? And then the other thing that people do a lot of is text-based designs where it's a saying, like especially like around Christmas with Merry Christmas or Jingle Bells or Laughing All the Way. Then you definitely want to put those sayings before everything else. And that's what that thing is on the right-hand side, the text-based designs. It's not so much like the typography-based designs. It's more the saying itself in the typography-based designs that you want to do use this technique for. So if you do have a saying, it goes first, just like no bad days, funny quote with yellow text. So again, it's another example of how you can incorporate that saying first, and then the trait is funny, the content is a quote, it's yellow, and the design type is a text, or you could say typography, right? So that gives you an overview of how you can build up your title. And then, of course, each one of these words becomes a tag, because if you use it in the title, you should have it in the tag. All right. So hopefully that was a really great way for you to understand this, but also to almost make you a little bit confused. Why? Because it's an art and a science, and it depends on your niche and on your practice and your skill with it, making it work for you. And most people think, oh, I watched Jen and Elka talk about this and I've got this. But if you're not making sales, then you don't have it yet. And so we want to really make sure that you understand that we're here to help, but it's got to be done through practice and training and learning. And that's very specific to each person. So that's why we're going to do a little challenge here and bring some people up. And you can now put a link in. We won't get to everybody, but we will be getting to some people that we've just picked out, and you can learn from that, from the other people. And then that way you'll get a better handle on what it takes to do a really good job with the titles and tags. But as you heard Jen say, as soon as some people got that help, they started to sell. Now we can't make any income claim statements that what we do here right here is going to give you the magic formula and you're all of a sudden going to sell a gazillion products. But be aware of how small tweaks, some tags that you've got in there that maybe shouldn't be in there, because the absence is also as important as a presence when it comes to titles and tags. Then you definitely will start to understand the complexity and why this is really important to focus on. Okay, so who do you want to pick?
Okay, so 1 year smoke-free.
Cool.
I've never seen a design like this before.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, 1 year smoke-free quote with pink floral lungs coffee mug. It's almost like following the same, like what you did, like spot on in terms of the. So I think right now, because this is such a new design, maybe we need to look up on Zazzle in terms of quitting smoking, or 1 year smoke free has now become a saying that you're using in your store so often that your products are being lumped together. Just because if all of these are yours, we want obviously you to be found within the marketplace. But if you're just very much in a small niche, maybe we need to think more about it a little bit more generalized rather than just 1 year smoke free. You can just say something about quitting smoking or smoke free, and it doesn't have to have the 1 year in there. I would even say make this customizable so it doesn't have to only just be for 1 year. Yeah. Because right now you're limiting for the person has to be, put it for a year. But either way, let's go down.
Let's do a search to see what kind of, because I think that the 1 year smoke free is what's holding you back from getting more products. See 27 results, and you're in here somewhere, right? Your product's right here. So this is the proof that what Jen's saying, that you have worked yourself into a small niche. So now what we have to do maybe is say,
say smoke free.
Let's try that. Press. Okay. So therefore we already have 600 results just by getting rid of the 1 year. So this is the part where I don't like what Zazzle said, because we're trying to be specific, right? But now we're not being as specific, and we're actually starting to have products be a little bit bigger neighborhood for us to be able to have a chance of being found. We're still going to put 1 year smoke free in our tags so that we can be found in that smaller research result. But in terms of the title, you want to have your product have a chance to be part of this piece, right? And maybe also the fact that we can see here that the 1 year smoke-free t-shirt is here. They used the word one rather than the number one. So we could maybe go back and try if this wasn't here on the top sellers, I would not suggest this, but because it is, let's try one instead of the one. So that's still going really, that's even getting worse in terms of the number of results that come up. So the smoke-free part is the one that we're going to really focus in on, or no smoking, but we don't want to do quit smoking, no smoking. What else have we got? Smoke-free. So we've got the smoke-free, which maybe that's the way to go, and we've done that. So now what we can do is have a look at your tags, because if like your design, just looking at all that in the first place means that out of all those designs, yours is amazing. So why hasn't it gotten any views? So it's just a matter of playing around a little bit with the tags and the title to get it started, because then your design should be right up there with others. And so you've got the 1 year right at the beginning. So if we now said smoke-free right here rather than 1 year, I think you'd probably do better, because order of tags also means there's a weight to the order of the tags. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that would be our suggestion for you for that. And hopefully that'll help you have that beautiful design showcased. Okay, who's next?
That's all right, awesome. So this is Jamie.
Whenever we do these, there's always really great examples that hit certain topics that we want to cover in a teaching, and they end up being delivered to us here. It's awesome in terms of random people sending their stuff in.
Okay, elegant boho wildflower wedding invitation. I think you're kind of on the right track, but I think in terms of the word wildflower, that's in terms of what's trending on Zazzle, you can definitely add floral or flower. And then I would talk more about the colors, like burnt orange and terracotta are definitely trending words now. And those are colors that are in your flowers. Or you can talk more about how like it's more of a fall color or like autumnal, because these are much more like, I want to say cooler colors or warmer colors for more autumn and winter rather than spring and summer. And then going down here, boho natural. Well, right away, you don't actually have the word wedding or in like wedding, or if it was to save the date. So wedding should be at the front, and then boho shouldn't be your first one, or natural. You could do wildflowers, but I do boho, watercolor, floral, botanical, typography. You don't need to have peach yellow. I would actually talk more about what I spoke to you about before. So the autumn colors like terracotta or burnt orange. And because you do have the word wildflowers here, if you actually put in like a derivative of one of the words, it just kind of cancels out. So you don't need to actually have the word wild in there. So you're just kind of wasting a tag at this point. And then colorful, I don't think you need either, because if you're going to use the words like terracotta and burnt orange, it sort of helps people understand what colors, because colorful could technically mean any type of colors, but right now you're talking more about the fall colors. But definitely your order can be fixed, and you can use boho in your tags, but I would use it towards the end, because the first tag that you use has the most weight. So I would do wedding, and then watercolor, and then florals.
Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Then I think we've got Daniel here.
Okay. So colorful kayaks, Rockport, Maine, view. Okay. So maybe the view doesn't need to be there. And remember the way that Zazzle said you have to do the trait. So we have watercolor is an interesting one, because for weddings now, watercolor is a theme and a style. But when it comes to us artists, we have a lot of trouble if we say the word art. But we can do watercolor at this point, or oil, even though if it is an oil or watercolor, it's not technically on the can cooler, like a physical oil or watercolor. But because of the way that niche of all the titles and tags are going, we can push it a little bit with the watercolor. I don't know if this looks more like oil than watercolor, but we could try. Art is also a tough one, because you may just not need to be like art. Zazzle's doing a whole bunch of stuff with art, and they don't want you to use art sometimes in your tags even. They just want you to use the descriptors. And so you've already done a really great job of the top part. I think the key here is maybe you can use colorful, but I would say use something more descriptive that's fun. And then definitely kayaks, Rockport, Maine, and then take out the word view. So that leaves us some space. So now we can go into fun or like lovely or elegant or, cottagey, like, or beachy or something. I know we're not even showing a beach, but you go kayaking on the water. So or summer. And then at that point, we're seeing the subject matter. And see, you've got ocean as your first one. There's no ocean in sight. And this is the part where we go back to where Jen talked about SEO, where you're saying that it's a website. Like literally this product that we're on right now is a website page within this website. So the fact that it says ocean first, all those bots that go like, does the title and the tag match the image? And in this case, it doesn't, right? Because there's no ocean in sight. Mm-hmm. You can use the kayaks on an ocean, but you can use the kayaks in the harbor. That's why I'm we're wondering about what to add in the title, whether it was like summer or something like that, or seaside. You could probably use seaside, but we definitely would want to use color, like kayaks, boats. And the main part, you don't have, there you have Rockport. Also, some of these can be put together, like Rockport, Maine can all be one word. You can even do like canoe, kayak, boats all in one if you want to. And then you can do the colorful, you can maybe call it abstract, at least that way you can get, I know it's not really, really abstract, but it's like abstract-ish. So you could do that a little bit with the art. If you're a known painter and people are seeking out your work, you can definitely add your name as the 10th tag, so that, or if there's a studio that you're familiar with or associated with, you definitely want to do that too. And then just put in some more things about how you would feel about it, like fun, happy, colorful, summer, things like that, where you're getting an emotion out of what the person can look for, like a fun, happy painting of, and I could actually do painting, right? Yeah. I hope that helps. Art is the most difficult thing to do in terms of tagging it and titling it, but you've like 90% of what you've got is already really great, except for in your tags. There's too many things that are not specific to it in the first part of the tags. Mm-hmm. So bring more of the other stuff to the beginning.
Have you heard about our free 5-day Scale Your Zazzle Business Challenge yet? It is for you if you are new to Zazzle and want to avoid making common mistakes and start and scale fast. It's also for you if you're a current Zazzle designer who is struggling to earn the money that you want.
During the challenge, we will be with you on a live Zoom call for 1 hour per day for 5 days. Each day you will learn one more crucial thing to scale your Zazzle business, from setting up your store, branding, making your first product and collection, to the key mistakes to avoid when scaling your Zazzle business.
Even if you're a current Zazzle designer and think that you've locked these things in, you will have many aha moments, because getting back to the basics can actually help you realize what's keeping you stuck.
We invite you to join in our free 5-day Scale Your Zazzle Business Challenge by registering using the link in the show notes.
Head on over to the show notes to secure your seat. Now let's get back to the show.
Some people already asked us about the Profit by Design Academy and what's involved and what's that promo code. So we'll definitely do that in the last couple of minutes. But we want to get as many in here to give you an idea of what's involved, and also for anyone else who has artwork like Daniel Fishback. Yeah, if anyone else has artwork, I hear you. I feel exactly the same way. It's very frustrating and very difficult. But once you get that right mixture of what to put in and what not to put in, then your artwork starts to get fans and seen by people.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, as an artist too, initially what you want to do is get them in because it's red and yellow kayaks. We forgot to do the colors for you, Daniel. Make sure you do have the colors in there, but you can put them all in as one tag. But it's the story of the customer looks at my painting and they say, "Oh, I love this painting. Do you have it in purple?" And so these customers are not your art collectors per se. They are your the people that want to buy a painting or whatever that matches their couch. It's only once they know your name, that they're going to buy because it's your painting. And so until they know your name, you have to be a little bit more literal with what it is that you're painting, and just go like, I wanted a picture of kayaks because I like kayaking and I wanted them in these colors. And so the title and tags actually build towards that. Or they say, oh, I went to Rockport, Maine. I love that. I want to buy this because it's a painting from there. That's why people are going to buy your painting on a can cooler or whatever. And so those are the kinds of things you have to put in your titles and tags in order to really leverage what you've done so that people will purchase because of those associations that they have with it. And then they'll get to know you and they'll buy stuff just because they love your work. If that's the case, I can't make any income claim statements, but your work looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so this is Marion.
Okay.
And so Rip Curl Splash Yoga Mat.
Wow.
Very cool. The only thing that I think, like in terms of the actual title, it's perfect for what it is, but maybe this would actually be better suited on a different type of product, like a beach towel or something like that. Because unless, like, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe this is like something that is popular and common, but Rip Curl for me is associated with water and surfing and, any type of water sport. And yoga is very much, Zen, very relaxed, very like calming. And so maybe you might want to try this on a different product as well. Just so you know. Yeah,
great idea.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that for right now, it's perfect. I don't see anything different that I would do with this, but it just may not be on the right product because people wouldn't be searching for yoga mats. Maybe that's just a suggestion.
Rip Curl, but if you wanted it to be more of like a beach and things like that,
and then this one here, so that be the
flow breaking wave. I like that one too.
That one is probably yours as well, and then that works probably better.
Yeah. But I mean, they're very Zen, like all of this is a little bit above and beyond titles and tags, but all of the other water related things are very much like calming and Zen. And yours is just like, it reminds me of one of the surfboard companies. Adrenaline which is perfect. It's fine. Okay. So ocean, wave, surf, relax, meditation, exercise, gym, beach, vacation, tropical.
And yet there's no yoga. So that's so sometimes the really interesting part is the obvious that's missing, right? Because we had that wedding invitation, wedding wasn't in the title. You have to remember that you have to put the same thing that you have in your title in your tags. They have to match and also in your description, by the way, because the bots are looking for that to say, oh, it's true. Right? That this all fits together and it belongs together along with what the image says.
Mm-hmm. And then you actually don't even have the word Rip Curl in here, which I would put in too.
Definitely put that one in.
Yeah. And then any other type of surf related terms, because maybe this is a thing. Maybe surfers like to have yoga mats as well. So I'm not trying to, judge anybody here. So I would put in more words that are relating to surfing. And you do have exercise and gym, but I would make it more so the outdoors type of related exercise, because clearly you're catering to surfers who they probably won't be working out in the gym. They're going to be doing yoga on the beach after they've,
possibly
done in surfing or whatever.
Yeah, the thing I'm noticing is the date says they posted it in December of 2020. So if you haven't had a lot of views yet, that's okay. Because of a whole bunch of things. First of all, you can't expect that many views right off the bat unless you've hit a very popular niche. And secondly, we have been in lockdown in many countries. And so it may or may not be something that people are going to look for right off the bat, possibly. But because you may not, unless you do your yoga at home, the niche is there, but it's not maybe the thing that they would go for right off the bat. And you could now start to see a little bit more traction with views.
Yeah. But so this is part of your same collection. I would, if you don't have a yoga mat with this picture on it, I would do that because it's fitting more into what the Zazzle Marketplace is offering. And then I like your title here. So blue, black ocean waves, Hawaii. Like people know that this is the black lava rock from Hawaii and it's the waves crashing up against it.
Yeah, and Hawaii already has like this sort of branding associated with it that it's like calming and yeah. So it could very well be work in your favor.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll do one more and then we'll wrap up because we are getting to the point. It's an hour.
Go for it. I know what you're going to say.
First of all, I understand we've had a couple students who have done exactly what you've done here, where you've added or you've said the actual name of the actual flower and spelt it perfectly proper. A lot of people, like a common type of person who's looking for a floral design, will probably not likely put in chrysanthemums into the search term. And if they do, they might not actually even spell it properly because it's a hard word to spell. And not everybody knows that this might be that. And because it's a graphic, this could be interpreted to be any type of flower, like from the average type of person who doesn't know, botany, they're not going to know that this is a chrysanthemum. So I would say,
stick with the rest of what you have.
Yeah, I would say pink and blue. And then I would even say like blush pink because it's a type of pink, right? It's not hot pink and it's not baby pink. It's a blush. And then I would say floral business card. And then you could even in your title, if you wanted to write in interior design or keep it plain because you've created this product to be for an interior designer. The design is really beautiful, but I think that right now you are limiting it because your word is just too complicated for not like the average type of person. And then I also would remove the dash. You don't need that in there.
And then the other thing you could do is add more of it. Like the floral is the style, but your style is in addition to floral, elegant, minimal, girly. If you use one of those words in addition, then you're going to target more markets and you'll get more views. And same with this is the common theme. Don't put the word at the beginning in the tags. That's going to be the most specific at this point, because that specific word is actually going to hinder rather than help you. So it should definitely, and there should be the word business in here.
Yep.
I know it says business cards after, but in at least one of these, like this business cards is kind of an odd one, but I always at least add one tag where I've got something. So this would be floral business first. That would be my first tag. Business card if you want, but at least the word business. And even if it says like Zazzle adds the word business card to the end of each one of these words that you add here
in the actual SEO algorithm. Yeah. So
but I'll take the risk and say for this one at least, where I'll say business in business cards tags, just because it's helped me. And then the rest of these are all related to your color, your style, what you're doing. You've got floral, but you probably don't need flower because floral seems to be much more popular than flower. And then stylish, and the colors, pink and blue, you can do the lush pink, and you can even do navy blue because you've got the blue is navy. I don't know about the word feminine.
I would say rather girly. Like some words like girly and feminine are very similar in the English language, but what's actually trending on Zazzle is the word girly. And I could do chic or stylish or elegant, like Elka mentioned. And then I would take away chrysanthemum and then dahlia. And I would just leave it as floral or botanical. And then here you could also put in the word interior design business card if you wanted to, if it's actually meant for that. If you have it as a template and they can change their own, which I'm sure you do, you can have it either as a general just business card and you put in the words interior design because, it's something to fill in the space. Or if you just want to now cater to interior design people who are looking for that type of business card. Okay.
Good. So how are we doing for time? So thank you so much for being here, but I want to show you the promo code. So if we can go back to the slides and everyone.
Just have one question from Belissa. I hope I'm saying her name properly. She says, question, you're saying don't put the name of the product in the title, but these examples that we're showing, the name is actually in the title. So when you create a product,
very good catch.
When you create a product, when you first start typing in the words for the title, if you click off of that, so don't put in the word business card or wedding or invitation or, let's say sticker or cell phone case, don't put those words in. As soon as you click out of the title section where you're
in that box where you're adding the words,
it will populate it. So the reason why you're seeing the title have the product name in it now is because they posted it for sale and the product has been now added to the end. So you don't have to do that when you're creating the product and posting it for sale. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Zazzle will, the Autobots will add that to it. And actually when you're posting your product and let's say you put some stuff in that title box, and then later, like if you move to something else in that big section of things you have to fill out before you can post a product, it'll actually prompt you. There'll be like a little pop-up window that says, Zazzle just added, business card to the end of this product. But it won't come up if you said if you literally typed in business card into that space. And that's why I put that as a number one thing. It's the most difficult to understand because like you said, like it's just, it's there. So did the person add it? Did Zazzle add it? Zazzle adds it as an Autobot action. So that takes away the guesswork. So all you're working on now is the descriptors. And then make sure that when you're doing your title, that the thing that's the closest to the word that's going to be added, like business card, like make it interesting, like floral. Whoever's example that was had floral as the last part. And that's the most important, right? So you had the floral and then it's next to Zazzle adding business cards. So it's going to be like floral business card. And then all the other stuff is like extra pieces that help get describe more so that there's more descriptors to help bring in the traffic to the search result.
Lucia also says, can we edit the title and tags when the product is already posted for sale? Yes, you can definitely do that. In the Profit by Design Academy, we show you exactly what to do for that, but it's as easy as going into your store and clicking the edit button on your product.
Yeah. Yes, you can. The only thing you can't edit afterwards is the design.
Yeah.
So whatever's on that, view of the edit menu, once you click done and you say post for sale, you can't change that. But all the things you add afterwards to that list of things, when it says, okay, you're ready to publish your product and there's a whole bunch of things you have to fill out, all of that you can edit afterwards. But you might as well do it right the first time.
Yeah.
Which is what we're trying to show you here. Okay, so don't forget to come to day 3, which is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like today. And we're going to talk all about creating a killer collection. And collections are so powerful. And so we're going to tell you why tomorrow and what it is and what are the components of a good collection. And we're going to do another critique, a live critique. And if you haven't made a collection before, don't worry. But if you have and you're having like issues with it and so on, make sure you have one link available tomorrow and maybe you'll get chosen. And we'll talk through some of the do's and don'ts and what you can do to make a good collection so that it can be leveraged for you. But people are asking about the Profit by Design Academy Bootcamp. We do start again on April 19th. We just finished one up like a week ago. And the people were with us and for weeks. And it was really great because we took people through the course. And the success that people have in our course and training are the people that are actually implementing everything that's in this training. It's not like any other course. It's basically most times you watch a course, then you've got to go figure out what that means and how it works for you. Whereas in this course, we literally walk you through step by step. We tell you to make products. We show you how to make the products. We show you what exact titles and tags to put down, and all of that together, along with a huge amount of training and business knowledge and marketing and sales and designing knowledge. That's what you get. That's why people are getting to $5,000 a month in this training. But remember at the beginning, I said it's going to be a long-term passive income. And so we've got examples that we're going to show you in the next couple of days of people who are now making $100,000 a year on Zazzle, but it took time for them. It starts with the Profit by Design Academy. And at that point, able to even be part of a boot camp. Now you are able to be part of a boot camp where we actually take you through in the next 10 weeks. So this is really important for you to remember that you have to get this course done, because it's all in here. The 5 proven strategies that we always talk about, the 5 strategies as to what you need to fully get a business up and running, an online e-commerce passive income business on the Zazzle platform. You need the 5 strategies, because it's been proven by us, because that's what it took for us finally, because we didn't know these 5 strategies at the beginning when we first started, and holy smokes, we made $90 in our first year. That was it. Mm-hmm. And certainly very embarrassing for someone like myself who left a 6-figure job, and I go like, I got this. And $90 in the first year, I was mortified, and I was desperate and very upset, because I'd put all my eggs in this basket and I didn't get the right training. And so now what you're getting offered here is an invitation to come and get the training that you now need to just get all that started faster and not make mistakes doing things without knowing whether they're worth doing or not. And so, and if this is something that you want to do, if you're on Zazzle and you're new and you just want to get started correctly, or you've been on Zazzle for a while and not making the money you want, or you actually want to, like my, platinum designer that joined our course about a year ago, she's just really making strides again, because she just didn't understand what the business side of things were and how to really set things up in the foundation for the long term. And because of that, now she's just soaring with her income again, and which is really awesome. And she's definitely at her 5,000 month. Okay, so, but again, we have to make sure that you fully understand this. This is not going to happen overnight. I can't make any income claim statements. You have to do the work. But we're here for you, supporting you with all the things we can do for you, but you have to show up and you have to do the work, and you have to have a really good mindset and attitude that this is a possibility for you and that you're willing to put the time and commitment into it. All right. Because we're not sugarcoating anything. We're here to empower you. And that's really important for us. Like if you sign up for the Profit by Design Academy Bootcamp, because remember we said it's going to start next week, you can actually already get access to all of the course modules, all 10 of them right now. If you sign up and go to elkaclark.com/PDA-bootcamp, you can put in the coupon code that we're going to give you in a minute, and you're going to save $1,000, and then you're going to get access to 10 modules. It's not just 10 lessons. These are 10 modules that are filled with a whole bunch of lessons that are all small, little like 5, 10, 15-minute video clips. And you're going to be taken step by step through the entire thing. Literally, the first lesson is go to Zazzle.com. This is how you open your store. This is how you make your first product. And even more detailed than whoever got the initiator course. That was just a little overview to get you started. But we want to get you started for good. We want you to get you started and set a huge foundation for a long-term passive income business. And so that takes a lot of effort, but you can do it quicker if you use the training. Okay. And we go through a 10-week boot camp with you if you join with us now, and you're just automatically going to get access to this boot camp. But it is value packed and worth $17,000 on its own, because basically you're getting coaching from us for 10 weeks. And you're getting coaching in a set of multiple different ways. You're getting coaching calls, like these hour calls. Did we get a lot accomplished in this hour? Imagine being very specific on something every week for 10 weeks to build and grow your business. So that's like a little taste, a tiny taste of what you got. You're going to get in these coaching calls. Then you're going to be part of a very special private Facebook group that is going to be your hub for 10 weeks, where you're going to ask questions, do critiques, and like watch all the replays. And then guess what? After the 10 weeks is over, you get that as a resource library. Even though you're not able to talk and ask questions in that group anymore, that's your package for you to keep going back to that 10 weeks of training, which is invaluable. It's way more than $6,000 that we put it at as a value. And then you're also going to get a wonderful 10 weeks of support from us, because we're going to be in the group Monday to Friday. It's also our team, but we are in the group as well, and we answer questions and we give you whatever it is that you need help with in regards to setting up this training that we give you in the Profit by Design Academy. And so we really, really believe in this course, and the Profit by Design Academy has had different names in the past, but it's been the same 5 strategies that we teach. We just keep getting better at teaching them and giving you more strategies. We're always updating as well for whatever updates there are on Zazzle. And now we've got this boot camp available for you to be part of. And even if you can't be part of it for the next 10 weeks, you get access to all the training, and you can watch them at your own pace and at your own time. And you have 10 weeks during which time, even if you're not on live ever with us, you can get so much out of this and you can get your course done. Mm-hmm. I have so many courses. Who's got courses that they bought and have never done? Who's in that boat? I'm a course junkie. If I actually got all those courses done, I would be making so much more money, because they're all courses on how to make money. So I'm doing a disservice to myself. If those other courses would have had boot camps, I would have been right in there. And because I would then finally get the course done and I would be much better off. And so that's what we want for you. You don't just get access to the course, you get access to us, like rawing you and cheering you on while you're doing the next 10 weeks to get this all implemented in your Zazzle business. Because the sooner you can get this implemented, the sooner you can start to see results. That I can guarantee you, because the results change dramatically once you start to actually implement and treat your Zazzle store or online store as a business. And that's what the Profit by Design Academy does. It's basically a business plan for Zazzle, but it's not just high level, this is what you need to do. It's literally videos saying, make this product and do this. You have to make all of these products. You get so many things in there. If you go to elkaclark.com/PDA-bootcamp, you're going to see a big long sales page. It's going to have a ton of information on it as to what you get in each of the modules that teach the 5 strategies, so that you can be very clear for all those tire kickers out there like me. I want to get all the information before I even decide to buy something. And so if that's you, we've got you covered. We've got all that information there. We have reviews and testimonials of students who've been with us for the last 3 years who are now going through this and seeing the results. And I want you to feel like it's a possibility for you, because that's the most important thing, is hope, possibility. And after that, it's a matter of, are you ready? Do you want to do this business or not? That's why you're all here. You're here because you want to earn more, right? Or you want to have a business that could actually give you that income if you're brand new. And here's a way for you to start very quickly. But you have to get in before the Friday deadline. Otherwise, you can't save $1,000, because that promo disappears after that. So this promo code, so if you go to elkaclark.com/PDA-bootcamp, it's right there on the screen, and then you use this promo code and then the promo code is promo1000 to make it easy for you to remember, but don't forget the number of zeros, 1000. And then you must do this before midnight on April 16th, which is Friday. Otherwise, the price, like the $1,000 savings, is gone. Okay. And so what's the price of the course? The bootcamp is, the whole thing that I just mentioned is $3,497. And because of this promo code that you're getting, promo 1000, if you go there and enroll before Friday midnight PST, which is Pacific Standard Time, then you will get $1,000 off, and the price for you will be $2,497. That's an awesome amount, right? That's really, really a very, very reasonable amount, and we get to save $1,000 if you do. Now, these wonderful ladies are people who took that risk. They decided to trust us and to do the course. And 2.5 years later, this is their earnings. Before, they were trying really, really hard on their own, or they, like Tammy, she was brand new. Actually, I met Tammy through another course because I'm a course junkie. I'm taking courses all over the place. And she goes, what is this that you're doing on Zazzle? That's amazing. And but she has no clue anything about it, no design background whatsoever. And she says, I trust you. If you know how to do this, I'm going to know how to do this because I'm going to follow your course. And 2.5 years later, she's made $25,000. And this is their take home, right? This is your take home amount that these ladies are making. And Wendy has earned $65,000 and Gree has earned over $50,000. And every time I do this slide, I have to update the numbers. In fact, they're already all over this. They way over this amount already. But I just want to show you a couple of people who you might sort of resonate with. Brandon has no design experience, but he also said, I want a side hustle. I'm making money, but I want to retire early. And so sounds like a really great business opportunity. Teach me what to do. And he actually already discovered Zazzle on his own and had been working on Zazzle for 5 years and had never made more than $250 a year. And then as soon as he got into the Profit by Design Academy in his first year, he made over $10,000. And then the next year he made $35,000. The next year he made $60,000. And so now combined, he's made over $100,000. And he's on track this year in 2021 to make $100,000 in this year. And that's all because of the Profit by Design Academy. And then Christine, on her own for 2 years, she made less than $130. And with our help, she made $100,000 last year during COVID in 2020. And she's already on track to make $200,000 this year as like her $200,000 in 1 year. This coming year, she's on track to do that. That's because of the Profit by Design Academy Bootcamp. And then Susan, same thing. She's a retired, and also Christine's in the Philippines, and she thought $130 was a good amount of money because that's actually the amount of money that you would make in a month in the Philippines, and it actually would get her really far. But then she heard that so many people were making more money on Zazzle through our course, and because of that, she signed up, and she goes, I want to know what this is all about. And so she was actually happy with her original amount, and now that she's actually learned how to do this, she's like one of our really top students. And she's so excited that not only is this now making her this much money, but that she's now built her own business that she can rely on when the economy is bad in the Philippines and so on, because she works with her parents in a physical store selling things. And so this has just opened up an incredibly new world for her that she wasn't aware of initially, that she could even have as a possibility. So if that speaks to you, talk to us and then enroll in the Profit by Design Academy Bootcamp, see where it takes you. It's going to be an exciting trip. And Susan, our last person that we want to talk about, she was already doing really well in Zazzle. That's why I said this course is for everybody. But she wanted to ramp up her business over the next 2 years because then she had the intention to retire and not work on Zazzle at all. And so she took the Profit by Design Academy training, implemented it. And for the last 2 years, she hasn't worked on it really. She's just kind of maintaining it like Jen and I do. And she is actually, that number again has changed. She's over the $100,000 mark and not even really working for the last 2 years. So it's awesome. So please go to elkaclark.com/PDA-bootcamp and sign up and use that promo 1000 code to save $1,000. And the last question I'm going to ask you is, what about you? Are you going to do it on your own? And that's okay. But if you want our help, we're here. And we're starting another boot camp. So urgency is, it's urgent because why not? The other urgency is that the e-commerce space is blowing up, and not in a bad way, in a good way. More and more people are shopping online. And so if you're not comfortable with this business model, this is actually the best time ever to go into this e-commerce space. And Zazzle is a long-term platform that's been around for many, many years. And it allows us to, as designers, and as people like Brendan who don't even have any design skills, to use the platform to provide a service to customers who are looking for unique items on the Zazzle Marketplace and earn money from that using our product designs and getting royalty payments, which is really fun because all of these amounts here are things that the dollar amounts are what people have earned, and that's in US dollars. And what we haven't told you is that most of our students go with our guideline of setting things at 10% royalty. And you might think, well, why? That's not very fair. That's a lot of money you give to Zazzle. No, because 10% is like that sweet spot where you're doing a really optimal selling, but you're still making money. So that means Brandon sold over $1 million worth of products. That means that Christine has sold $1.5 million worth of products. So that's a lot of t-shirts, or that's a lot of mugs. And so put that in perspective. And this is the take home. And there is no ad spend. There's no major, huge investment in equipment or taking time away to talk to customers and do billing and have checkout pages and websites and all that stuff. Just using the Zazzle platform and putting up amazing products. But then the part that's the hardest part is what we talked about today, right? Is marketing your products to make sure people see it so that you can sell $1 million worth of product. And that's where we come in to help you. And we hope that you will be able to join us. And I'm going to let you know one more time, elkaclark.com/PDA-bootcamp. And let's go back to the promo code, which is here. And so make sure you write that promo code down because this is where you get it. And then go to elkaclark.com/PDA bootcamp and click the button and enroll today so we can see you in the bootcamp and work with you. And we'd love to do that to see what your potential is.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you so much for joining us. Let's make sure that you're back here for 2:00 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's saying thank you. Did you learn a lot? Are you going to implement all of this training into your store if you have one, or keep it in mind if you are just getting started?
Yes, I think so.
Everyone's saying thank you so much. Thank you, Jen. As always, see you tomorrow. You're welcome.
Super.
And I hope you've been inspired and join us. This special is a really great special, and it's not lasting long.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't even wait until Friday. We always say expires Friday, but that's 3 days more for you to actually take advantage of the Profit by Design Academy and get ahead. 3 days more of working towards your goal and not wasting any more time.
Yeah. And Jude says, got results. Yes, that's true. Jude is actually one of our he won't mind me saying this, but he was like, oh, I can't afford it. And then as soon as he could afford it, he started to, he bought and he enrolled, and it's made such a difference. So we never want you to not be able to afford it. The time will be right when you're ready, but don't make an excuse if you can't afford it. If you're truly in dire states, don't do it, because that's not what we're here for. But if you can do it in some way or another, the sooner you get started, the better. And Jude's doing really well. So I really appreciate that you did that, Jude. And we're so happy to have you as a student.
Yes, we are. Okay, have a wonderful day. And if you have any questions, please email us. Click the link there, put in the promo code, save $1,000, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you in the boot camp. Thank you so much for listening to The Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur with Jen and Elka Clark.
We hope this episode has given you actionable steps to start and scale your Zazzle business so that you can have the passive online income to have location and time freedom to live your dream life.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Each review helps us reach more creative entrepreneurs like you working to create a profitable e-commerce business.
And don't forget to take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram stories and tag us at Miss Jen Clark and at Elka Clark. We'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from today's episode. See you back here next week.